faith, and it's based off of Jude chapter 1, verse 3. And if you want to turn to it, you're more than welcome to. But what the Bible is telling us, that we must contend for the faith which was once delivered unto the saints. Now, we're not contending for faith, but we are contending for the faith. There is a difference in faith and then the faith. The faith is the death, burial, and resurrection of Jesus Christ. Now, we are not contending for notoriety. We're not contending for validation. We're not contending of who can build the biggest church in Augusta. We're not contending of who can get to the Word Network first. We are contending for the faith. For it is this faith that healed us, truth. It is this faith that delivered us, Navanka. It is this faith that saved us, that saved me on a Friday night. I'm contending for the faith. If we take a look at our world, and if we take a look at our society, and if we take a look at, let's just be real, if we take a look at the church, we are in a bad, bad place. It is horrible. If you look back at Jude and you drop down one verse, it says in verse 4, how there have been men ordained of old that have crept in unaware. And they have crept in to make you lazy. They've crept in to make you think, well, Shawana, it really must not take all that. They have crept in to make you think Danielle does nothing but preach fire and brimstone. It crept in to make you think that just because you experienced that as a child, that's how you had to live as an adult. It crept in the church unaware. They were ordained of all to get you weak, to get you lazy, to get you complacent. It's their job. And guess what? They didn't creep in loudly. The Bible said they crept in unaware. They crept in subtle. It's so subtle evils. They creep in under the veil of grace. They crept in under the veil of mercy. They crept in saying, Pastor, well, God knows my heart. They go around saying things like, well, we're nothing but crooked sticks trying to walk a straight path. You may be sitting by one of them tonight. They highlight our weaknesses, but they don't talk about the power God gave us to stand under. They crept in unaware. They came in, Sister Bridges, looking like us. They come in and they preach like we preach. They sing like we sing. They shout like we shout. They even dress, Beulah, like we dress. But Brother Monroe, they are not of us. They crept in unaware. They crept in your departments to bring havoc. They crept in your departments to say we can't raise the Ames rally money. They crept in unaware. Some of them even grew up with us. Because the wheat and the tare grow up together. It's a given. They got to grow up together. But God, He knows how to divide. So they crept in unaware. And if you go back to verse 1, this letter was written to sanctified folks. To those who've been set apart. God, He is saying it's time for us to contend for the faith. The word contend means to fight. It means to battle. It means to assert judgment in an argument. It means we've got to get back on our posts and contend for the faith. This is not the time to fall into adultery, married man and married woman. This isn't the time to fall into fornication, single man and single woman. This isn't the time to fall into lesbianism. This isn't the time to fall into homosexuality. This is the time to contend for the faith. Each and every one of us in this room, we are living proof that the faith works. We are living proof that the faith delivers. We are living proof that the faith still heals. We are the living proof. We must contend for the faith. I don't know if y'all can feel it, but I feel it burning so much so on the inside that when you leave out these doors, you contend on your job, you contend on the college campus, you contend in your dating life, you contend in your marriage. You must contend for the faith. And if we go down to verse 24 or verse 20, it says, but ye beloved, building up yourselves on your most holy faith. That's how we contend. This is how we don't faint in the time of adversity. Because number 24 says, now unto him who is able to keep us from falling. He's able to keep you from falling. There's no more excuse. He's able to keep you from falling. If you keep your mind on him, he will keep you in perfect peace. In the time of adversity, he will keep you in perfect peace. Your bank account may be attacked, but he will keep you in perfect peace. But you've got to contend for the faith. I didn't mean to hit the podium so hard, Pastor, I'm sorry. But you've got to contend for the faith. Contend for that thing that found you that night when you were in the club. Contend for that thing that found you when you were sleeping with that married woman. Contend for that thing that found you when you were battling suicidal thoughts. Contend for that thing that pulled you out of depression. Contend for that thing that pulled you out of oppression. Y'all don't want to be real tonight. Contend for that thing that stopped you from putting a needle in your arm. Contend for the faith. As I bring it to a close, I refuse to accept anything that God does not deem proper. I do not accept what society says is okay. See, they crept in, and now church people, not the saints, but church people are saying, well, maybe it is okay for a man to marry a man and a woman to marry a woman. I mean, it is love. Crept in because we've been too quiet. We've been too laid back. They crept in and they got some of you. But God said, I always have a remnant that know that we are in the world, but we are not of the world. We've come, we are a city set on a hill, and our light will not be dim, for we've come to R-A-Z-E. I came to raise some hell, baby. You better believe it. I came to raise some hell with this ponytail I got from Atlanta. I came to R-A-C-E, hell, baby. We must contend for the faith. So when you get up in the morning and you put on your lashes or you put on your cologne, you put that black mark underneath your face so it can take away all the glares and you can be focused on contending for the faith.